Why is it that players, NBA players, always view Kobe in a different light than NBA fans and media? That was the question that was the first question that was posed. And Gilbert Arenas answered first. So what we want to do is we want to play what Gilbert Arenas said as his response to that original question. Take a listen to what Gilbert Arenas had to say here.
Players are in the lion's cage with the lions, right? Media watches, right? So, when you have to guard someone, 43, 48 minutes, day in and day out, you know who's who. You know who's a killer, right? Your stats don't mean anything. It's not like you take in consideration double teams and triple teams, right? None of that factors in. It doesn't factor in how high a guy can jump, how fast he is, what type of engine he has, what is he working with, how's he starting this race. Media don't factor any of that in because if they haven't played, they wouldn't know, that this guy has if we're running a 100-yard race, he already at the 60-yard line when we start because, he got this engine. So for this guy to even get close, for this guy to even lose by 10 yards, in a sense, that is the win for us because the one guy had a 60-yard head start, right? So that's what we see as players, right? That's why when you hear players talk about other players, that's what's respected. Not with the media. We really don't care because y'all are just looking at stats. Y'all don't have no feel for it. Y'all don't understand it. Y'all have never sat in front of that guy and see how hard it is to guard.
Players, we evaluate other players differently than fans and media. Stats don't matter to us. What we evaluate is, from our experience and all of those different things. We don't view it through the prism of stats. Now, Rashard McCann also said that the only way we are having this conversation about LeBron being better than Kobe or LeBron being better than Mike is by using stats. He was responding to Gilbert Arenas, then turning around and then what? Trying to use stats, something he said that players don't use, to evaluate other players. So for those of you who didn't hear that, I want you guys to now try to listen to him use stats. The same Gilbert Arenas to say doesn't use stats. I want you guys to listen to him here try to make an argument to defend LeBron against the greatness of Jordan by using stats. Take a listen to Gilbert Arenas here.
Before Michael Jordan, there was someone on top, right? Whoever that was, they got pushed the out. If Kobe's number 2, before he was number 2, who was number 2? Like Kobe was the next Jordan, right? He was the next Jordan. He was compared. There was times where he said, I'm 1A, he's 1B, right? The reason he's not in the GOAT debate anymore is because they have LeBron as the definite 2. Right, so there's no if they move Kobe to 3 in the debate, there's no point of even having that conversation because he can't collect stats anymore. So his stats ain't collectible anymore. So whatever his stats are, whatever his resume is, it's stopped. Right. So if someone caught him, that's who gets put into the GOAT debate, just like when Kobe, whoever was in front of Kobe and he caught him, they don't talk about 3.
So Michael would have been pushed out there, correct?
If someone caught him?
No. Because Kobe caught him and passed him. So he would have been pushed out.
What year did anybody say Kobe was number 1?
I'm not saying by your metric, what you just said.
I just said that.
You said when Michael came in, he had to push somebody out. Then here come Kobe. So who would get pushed out if Kobe comes in? Michael.
Number 2.
That means
who was number 2?
No, I'm not saying number 2. If Kobe comes in as number 2,
how did he came in the league as number 2?
No, man, I'm just saying in the conversation.
Okay, but what I'm saying is think about what I'm saying. If Michael Jordan is in the 90s, number 1, who's number 2 in the 90s of all time?
Doesn't matter.
It does.
I'm saying what you just said.
It does. So listen to what I'm saying. If this is Jordan, who's number 2? That means whatever Kobe did.
Number 2? Okay, so if you don't even know, who number 2,
Wilt, whatever, Magic, whatever.
They all got pushed out, right?
They got pushed out by Kobe.
No, they got pushed out by Mike.
No, Mike was already, he was number 1.
Who was number 1 before Mike?
They didn't have one. They didn't have a GOAT. They didn't have a GOAT yet. The first GOAT.
So Will Chamberlain wasn't.
They didn't have.
Bill Russell wasn't.
They didn't have no GOAT.
Nobody. Kareem wasn't, because Kareem led the league in all-time points.
They didn't have a GOAT.
They didn't have a GOAT.
Why you think Kareem?
But that ain't what Isaiah Thomas said. So what you saying don't have no merit, because Isaiah Thomas said, Captain, when he walked in the room, we bowed.
Who?
So when Big Cap stopped, it come in Magic and Bird. They didn't get the same kind of bravado, but then Mike comes in. Mike gets the bravado.
Okay.
Here comes Kobe. Now,
So
you
Cap
just
is
said
so
that
if Jordan's in front, Cap is second.
But you said
right?
the collectible stats, because LeBron is still collecting stats. Mike's not collecting stats no more. So how is it that you say, okay, because Kobe's not collecting stats no more, we can push him out because here's LeBron, but Mike ain't been collecting stats since 2002.
And who passed him?
Kobe Bryant passed him.
When?
What do you mean when? When he passed it, Michael Jordan in the scoring list. Do you follow basketball?
Yeah, so the scoring.
Okay.
So
what are you
the
talking
score-
about? He passed him.
In the scoring list, that didn't put him in front of Michael Jordan of all time.
Oh my gosh. So how does it?
Michael Jordan
So
was-
how does LeBron James get in front of Kobe Bryant all the time?
Because his metrics said he was a better player so far.
Excuse me?
His
You talking
career.
stats?
What? How
You
long?
just said we're not talking stats. You just
Wait, no,
said
wait.
we're not
How
talking
long?
stats.
Here's what I think. Gilbert gonna do a live, but Gil, you know I gotta keep it real. You know I gotta keep it real. We just talking ball. We gotta keep it funky, but I gotta keep it real. I think Gil had a slip up right there. I think Gil had a slip up.